I'd like to remind you of one of the Easter stories that we hear at this time of year. It's a very unusual story. It's a very mysterious story. And it's maybe even a scary story. On the day we call Easter Day, just when the body of Jesus couldn't be found, and this story started that Jesus was maybe alive, two of his friends, two of his followers set off from Jerusalem to a wee place called Emmaus, a village which was possibly their home. And they were worried and they were confused and they were so sad about what happened to Jesus. And all their hopes just seemed to have been finished. They seemed to die on the cross along with Jesus. And you know, they were probably a wee bit scared because maybe their lives would be in danger now as well. So it was an awful time. But on their journey, they met up with a stranger. And when they got to their village, they invited the stranger in with them to have a meal. And when they were eating, this man took some bread and broke it and blessed it. And it reminded them of what Jesus had done. And then they suddenly realized it was Jesus. It was actually Jesus. And right at that moment, he disappeared from their sight. Now, maybe you're wondering why I said that was a scary story. Well, I don't know about you, but I think if I met a stranger and started talking to them, and then I sat down and had some food with them, and that stranger suddenly disappeared in front of my very eyes, I think that would be pretty scary. And also, if you consider that the person turns out to be Jesus, then it would be pretty disappointing. Imagine Jesus is just in front of you and then he disappears. But here is the very interesting thing in the story. These two friends didn't think it was scary or disappointing at all. They thought it was brilliant. They thought it was amazing and wonderful. And they got up, just having walked 7 miles to Emmaus, and this time they ran or they hurried as fast as they could to get back another 7 miles to Jerusalem to all the other friends of Jesus to tell them what had happened. They were desperate to share the news. Jesus' death was not the end of him after all. It was still possible to discover him and meet with him. Jesus was going to be with them in a new way. But they knew for certain that Jesus was real and Jesus was not finished. And that is the wonderful thing. Jesus cannot die. At Easter, death was defeated. And it means it is possible to meet with him and to discover him. And even after all this time, Jesus is alive and able to meet with us and to guide us and to support us wherever we are. And you know, that is wonderful news.